Welcome back to Confluence Conversation, the podcast that celebrates education, innovation, and the people who make a difference every day. I'm your host, Dr. Ava Smith, and today's episode takes us straight into the classroom with Ms. Haley Bruick, Confluence Academy's journalism teacher. We're talking about curriculum innovation, using podcasts to enhance student learning. Ms. Bruick is an educator who goes above and beyond to create meaningful lessons that not only meet standards, but ignite curiosity and connections. If you have ever wondered what true student-centered learning looks like in action, this is the episode for you. Well, welcome, Ms. Bruick.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So excited. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what role you serve here at Confluence.
So at Confluence, I am the journalism teacher. I have been here, I just completed 13 years.
Oh, cool.
And within my class, students, we produce a yearbook, a newsletter, and now a podcast. Thanks to you for bringing it here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so excited about that. So what or who inspired you to start the podcast?
Well, I kind of just led into it, but yes, you did, because I don't remember, was it the end of last year, and we were talking about you were getting podcast equipment, and then when I showed up, here it is, bright and shiny and very exciting. So it was a little bit that, and of course, with COVID and just today, podcasting's everywhere. Like I have a half-hour commute one way. So I listen to podcasts. I make it meaningful, usually something educational, So I felt that, okay, this is the next way to go. My background's video production, even though we do a yearbook and a newsletter, mine's video production. And I have found that a lot of students don't want to be on camera and getting video and editing it. It's just a little bit. And I was like, podcasting, that's just the audio, even though we do recording of it. But I was really excited about bringing that in. It's what's today.
Absolutely. It's going to be amazing. So with doing the podcast with your students, what skills do you hope that they will develop?
So many skills. I think that, we start with creating a topic, coming up with a topic, an idea. We try to stay centered to Confluence Academies. So we talk about athletics, academics, activities, things going on, teacher features, student features. Our students have their own business, or are they doing something incredible? Did they receive an award? So they have to come up with that idea. Then they have to outline a script, then write the script, and then, conduct interviews, which is interpersonal communication, which is just huge, and not being shy and practicing and speaking eloquently and all that. So there's just so much problem solving, right? Because technology doesn't always work.
Absolutely.
Technology specialist. So troubleshooting, problem solving. I just think it's huge.
That's good. That's really good stuff. Will the students choose their own podcast topics, or will it be related to the curriculum content?
So a little bit of everything, right? I do want, when I interviewed you, you mentioned, personal matters and things like that. I want them to be able to discuss that and have those ideas. Hey, I want to talk to this person about this, the tornado that just hit. My house, took damage, and let's talk about that. Because for some people, that helps. That's cathartic. Some people don't want to. Some people, it's easier if they pick a subject. Hey, I want to talk about the track team and how we've got a couple people going to state. So there's everything. I do want it related to their life, their age group, but let's say music or TV shows, and they want to talk about a series, keeping it school appropriate.
Yeah. I love that. So what challenges do you anticipate with the implementation of the podcast?
I think, a little bit. We're trying to improve the set. We're just growing. We're just starting. So I think we're going to get there. A big challenge I face, two big ones. One is a lot of students, it's good. It's not on camera. We do a little bit of that, but that's a benefit. But some students don't even want to be recorded, whether it's audio or on camera. The other big challenge is schedules. Students have, they're in class. I don't want to pull them out of a class, Teachers are in class. So it's really challenging to get the interviewee and the interviewer together for 10, 15 minutes.
Right. That's true. That can definitely be challenging because the schedules don't add up for sure.
Right.
What As far as the teachers go, how do you get those teachers involved into the podcast as well? Even though their schedules may not align, how do you get them to be involved with the students and with us and working with them?
I love that question. So the first way is through the interviews, really, is a lot of the stories that we produce have to do with what's going on in the classroom or what a teacher is doing for students. So we're shedding a light on that, and we do that by interviewing them. So it starts by the student has to go to the teacher and say, hey, I'm doing a story on this, and it's about this. Are you willing to contribute, or can I interview you? And then they have to outline the questions and all that good stuff. Ideally, if they can come in the podcast room and we can coordinate that, then they're doing it that way. If not, it's like an in-person interview, or, last resort would be email.
Okay.
But yeah. And, once we get this podcast up and running and on a website, want to be able to have students and teachers suggest ideas, have kind of a suggestion box for story ideas. And you and I are going to coordinate for after school, open up the podcast to after school availability, where teachers and students can come in and record a podcast.
I love that. So just picking your brain and piggybacking off of that, for the foreseeable future, how do you see this going? Is this going to be just a Confluence entity podcast, or just going to be shared with the public? What are you thinking?
Both. But I think sharing with the public where students know how to tune in. And that's another thing about podcasting. It's a link, right? Click on the link. And, it's just, I remember old school where we had to distribute it through the school. You were much more limited. Now we can share a link and there it is. So I do ideally want it to go to the public. But if a student wants to record a personal podcast, it doesn't have to go public.
Got it. I love that idea. Yeah.
I do want it school appropriate, but outside, because I think we're working in those confines. But outside of that, I want to give them the option of doing that. We also have, but this is part of the Confluence Conversations. So that's kind of a district-wide initiative for podcasting. And then a secondary is the Titans Talk, which
Correct.
Is really the students here at Confluence Preparatory, what they're producing.
Correct. Okay. Well, do you have anything else for our listeners? You want to tell them anything?
Keep listening. Watch for improvements and more episodes. And, your support is huge. And all you have to do is listen. That's really it. Students who are listening, please come contribute. Join kind of our club after school. Make sure you sign up for the journalism class.
Please.
And if you do have a story idea, email me. Maybe we can put my email in the show notes. Yeah. It's just haley.bruick@confluenceacademies.org. And I'd love to hear from you.
Sounds good. Well, we want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. I'm excited about what the future holds. And for the listeners out there, if you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, happy listening.